So in this video, I want to find the equation of the line passing through each of these pairs of points, and I want to get my final answer into the form ax plus by equals c, where a, b and c are integers. And in this video, I'm going to be using the y minus y1 equals mx minus x1 method, rather than the y equals mx plus c method. Now, throughout, I'm going to use the left-hand coordinate as x1, y1, and the right-hand one to be x2, y2 in finding the gradient of the line. So I'm not going to bother writing those down because I'm going to remove that scaffolding, and I've also removed the formula for the gradient of the line as well, okay? So that we could just get used to the process, because we're not going to have them there in the exam. So, first of all, we need to find the gradient of my line for the first one. So m is equal to 21 take away 1 over 6 take away 2. So remember that your coordinates should appear as columns, 6, 21, 2, 1. Okay? If they're crisscrossing, you know you've gone wrong. So 21 take away 1 is 20, 6 take away 2 is 4, 20 divided by 4 is 5. So I know that the gradient is 5. And now I can just pick one of these pairs of coordinates to be the x1, y1 to plug into this formula here. So let's go with 2, 1. So y minus y1 is equal to m x take away x1. So multiply out the bracket. 5 times minus 2 is minus 10. And now we just need to get it into the required format. So if I subtract 5x from both sides, I can move it onto the left-hand side. I'll keep the y where it is, and I'll move the minus 1 over to the right-hand side. So add 1 to both sides. Minus 10 plus 1 is minus 9. Okay? And that is my required format. Minus 5, 1, and minus 9 are the a, b, and c respectively, and they're all integers. If you don't like the minus signs being there, you could multiply everything through by minus 1 and write it like that, if you prefer. And that looks a little bit neater. Right, let's try question number 2. So, gradient first is y2 minus y1 over x2 minus x1. So 5 take away 2 is 3, 4 take away 10 is minus 6. 3 divided by minus 6 is minus a half. So choose which one of these you want to go in as the x1, y1 now. I'm going to go with 4, 5, I think. So y minus 5 is equal to minus a half x take away 4. Okay, now multiply through the right-hand bracket. So minus 1/2 x. Minus a half times minus 4 is plus 2. Now, we can rearrange it first, or you can get rid of the fractions now. It's really up to you, okay? We could also, saying that, have got rid of the fraction at this stage, and that would have been perfectly fine as well. So let's go back a stage and I'll show you that way. That'll probably be worth showing. So when you get to this stage here, and you know you need to get integers, if you multiply through by 2 now, okay, multiplying through by 2 because that's the denominator, and that will get rid of the fraction. So if you multiply through by 2, we're going to get 2y take away 10 is equal to now just minus 1. So minus 1 lots of x take away 4. So 2y minus 10 is equal to minus x, and then minus 1 times minus 4 is plus 4. Add the x to both sides, keep the 2y where it is, and add the 10 to both sides. And we get our required format. Okay? So there's actually a few different avenues you go down as to when you get rid of the fraction. If you didn't want to do it that way, you could always multiply that bracket out first. This is what I did initially. Minus a half times minus 4 is plus 2. Then you could rearrange, so you could add a half x to both sides. Keep the y where it is. Add the 5 to the other side. And then get rid of the fraction by multiplying through by 2. So you're going to get x plus 2y equals 14. Okay, it's really up to you, whichever you feel more comfortable doing, and as you practice you may find you prefer one over the other. Okay, right, number 3, and just so you're clear, there's no right way of doing that. Okay, it's really down to you. So number 3, first of all find the gradient. So y2 minus y1 over x2 minus x1. So take away minus 5 is the same as plus 5. So we have minus 9 in the numerator, 15 in the denominator. Now, minus 9 over 15. 9 and 15 are both divisible by 3, so that's minus 3/5. Now choose one of the points that's going to go into your form, into your equation. Let's go with this one, minus 5/4. So y minus 4 is equal to m, so minus 3/5, x plus 5. So it's take away minus 5, so x plus 5. Okay. Now, although I showed you that there were these two methods of working this through, my personal preference is to deal with the fraction now. I didn't say that there isn't a correct way of doing this, but my personal preference is to get rid of the fraction earlier rather than later. Okay? So I multiply through by 5 now to get rid of that denominator. So multiplying through by 5, I'm going to get 5y minus 20, and then I'm going to have minus 3 lots of this bracket. So if I'm confident enough, I can also multiply through by that bracket in that one line. So minus 3 times x, and then minus 3 times 5 is minus 15. So you can do it all in one go. Okay, really down to how confident you are. Add the 3x onto the left-hand side, keep the 5y where it is, and add the 20 to both sides. So minus 15 plus 20 is 5. Now what you're going to start to see here is that the amount of lines of working required to get to the final answer is much more reduced than it is using the y equals mx plus c form. Okay, you can get to your answer much faster in general doing it this way. Right, last one. So first of all, gradient. M is minus 43 tenths take away 49 20ths over 2 take away minus 1, so plus 1. Okay, straight to the calculator here. So minus 43 tenths take away 49 20ths is minus 27 quarters, and the denominator is 2 plus 1, so 3. Minus 27 quarters divided by 3 is minus 9 quarters. Okay, so now choose a point that's going to go in here. I think I'm going to go with this one here. minus 1 49/20. So y minus y1, so minus 49/20, is equal to m, so minus 9/4, times by x take away x1. So x take away minus 1 is x plus 1. Now, here we've got this minus 9/4. So if I was going about this the way that I'm most comfortable doing it, by getting rid of the fractions now, spying this quarter here, I'd be multiplying through by 4, but I've got this 20ths here. So if I multiply this by 4, it's not going to get rid of the 20 in the denominator. But if I multiplied through by 20 both sides, so I focus on that denominator, then because 4 is a divisor of 20, that means, or a factor of 20, that means that if I multiply through by 20, it will get rid of that denominator for me as well. So I'm going to multiply everything through by 20. So I'm going to get 20y take away 49 on the left-hand side. Right, then I'm going to have minus 9/4 times by 20, which is minus 45. Now, I don't think I want to do 2 steps in one here, so I will keep it bracketed there. If you're comfortable about going straight out and expanding that bracket out, then fine. I think for the purposes of the video, I'll just leave it as is for one more line, then multiply through. So minus 45x, take away 45. Okay, so now add the 45x to the left-hand side, keep the 20y where it is, and then add 49 to both sides. So minus 45 plus 49 is 4. And so that is the equation of the line in the format that I want.